Hey up, Gorilla family, I'm Mr. B, and this little racer is Lenny G. Say hello, Lenny.
Hello.
Hey, you got it right this time. Today, much from a request, to be fair, I got asked to do some more Crew 2 tutorial videos because I enjoyed the air race one, which will be linked at the end. So today, looking at the comment that I got asked to do this. It was a couple of days ago, but I got asked to do this. And my reaction to that was this. I hate jet racing. I avoid it like I would Janet Street Porter. Honestly, I can't stand jet racing at all. But I put in the hours, I got better at it, and because of that, if you want to be more like this, go on then.
Unless like these knobheads.
This is my favorite part, right here.
And stay tuned. Let's roll.
Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh, honey, though our friendship ceases from now on. Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh, honey, though our friendship ceases from now on.
Okay, jet boat races. Oh, right. Okay, so this took me quite a bit of time to get right. Jet boat races wasn't my thing, but after hours of practicing, I came up with a top 10 list that will help you as much as it helped me. The very first point in any top 10 list as far as racing is concerned is your vehicle itself. When I got the Crew 2, it actually gave me a load of vehicles. I don't know why. I just ordered the vanilla version. It's not like I got a specialist version or anything else. Whether everybody else got that or I'm the special, I don't know. But one of the things I got was the King 1, or whichever one it is, Leopard jet race boat, which is apparently the best one in the game. So kudos to me there. Having said that, like all vehicles in this game, it needed a bit of tuning just to get it to respond to how I like it. Now, there's a couple of things that I've done which are on screen right now, which has helped my boat incredibly, to the point where it's shit hot off the line. It never, it's quick in turning, and the beautiful thing is you don't have to brake, but I'll touch on that later on. So, if you try the setup that I've got on screen now, you will instantly find much better performance. And yes, there are going to be people out there that go, Mr. B, you're insane using it, but screw you. This is my boat, this is how I run it. And I found with these setup, or this setup in particular, the boat responds a lot quicker and I can win a damn sight more races. So you've tuned your boat, you've got it how you like it. What's the next thing to be? Well, that's obviously going to be test your tune, test your setup. What works for me might not work for you, or you might find it a little bit too much twitchy or not twitchy enough. So find some in-world events, like I've got a slalom one running here, and test them out. Do an event, see how you like it, tweak it, do another event, see how you like it, tweak it, and eventually, after you do it enough times, your boat will become a part of you. It'll be second nature. And the beauty about that is, as well, is you'll learn how to use your boat. Just like drifting, just like the hypercars, and just like the monster trucks and the planes especially, knowing how to use your vehicle or knowing how it responds to your commands is paramount to success. End of. Right, well, now you've tuned your vehicle, you've tested it to extremes so you know exactly how it handles. It is now your baby. What's next? Well, let me ask you a question. When Lewis Hamilton goes to an F1, let's say day one F1 race, Lewis Hamilton steps up to the plate, do you think that he has done hours upon hours upon hours of research on that track to make sure he knows every corner? Or do you think he just jumps in and goes, just get the champagne ready, lads, I'm gonna blast this? Of course he checks the track. He makes sure that he knows every inch of it. And if you're after the world record, bloody good luck to that, by the way. If you're after the record times, if you just want to beat your friends, you need to know the tracks. This applies to jet boat racing more than any other, because there is some seriously tight turns, there is some seriously tricky maneuvers that you have to get used to before you can start going on about beating your friends or beating world records. The tracks are very intricate and very complicated. It really tight 90-degree S-bends and things like that, and you will be surprised how many times I run a race just to try and get a decent time. I mean, this one on the screen right now probably took me 10 attempts just to get it right, just to learn the track. And that's my number 3 tip: learn the track. The 4th tip, a really important one, is learning the difference between when to pull your boat up by pulling back on the left analog stick and when not to do it. You will find that your boat will turn a lot quicker if your nose isn't up. It's what's known as dipping. You're dipping your front end down to get a quicker turn. If you pull your nose up by pulling back on the left stick, you're going to be all over the place. So what I tend to do is, if I know I've got 2 or 3 seconds of a good straight, or if I'm in somebody's wake, or if I'm going uphill, like on the very first track in Las Vegas, that's when to pull your nose up. Do not, I repeat, do not do the full race with your left stick pulled down. You'll literally crash, burn. There'll be a spot waiting for you in hell. The devil will be sat there ready to laugh at you, and you'll just have to restart and try again. Okay, so my 5th tip is a skill-based tip. Now, you'll probably realise this when testing, but your boat is extremely quick at turning. It's like a mosquito. In fact, no, it's like an ADHD mosquito that's drunk a 5th of vodka. It just eats all over the place. But you can use that to your advantage. You'll notice on the tuning, I turn the braking practically off because there is no need to brake. You just literally take your finger off the trigger, foot off the clutch, whatever you want to call it. Well, foot off the accelerator, you don't want to take it off the clutch. And it literally stops on a dime. You can turn pretty much instantly for it. Now, you have to measure that, of course, with your speed, because speed's important. You're against the clock. So what I tend to find is just gauging where the best point is. Just take your finger off the accelerator and use that to brake before going around the corner. And that's how I do it, and that's how I find it's best. So you don't need to brake. The only time I've ever broke realistically is when I've cocked up. So if you know the track and you know where to turn, that's not going to happen to you. So don't use your brake, just take your finger off the accelerator. Okay, the 6th tip is another really important one. I probably should put this at 5th, but it's me. You're here for a reason, because I'm a dick, and it is what it is. So the 6th tip is learn when to use your nitros, in the same sense as the 4th tip. If I've got 2 or 3 seconds where I know I've got a good straight, I'll blast it. I'll also blast it off the line for no longer than a second. I'll also use it if I've cocked up and smashed into a wall and made myself look like a right dick. There is also another time to use it, which comes down to my next tip, but we'll go into that very shortly. But the main thing is, if you're over land or something like that, smash your nitro just to get that extra boost across the land, so that the land doesn't slow you down. If you're coming up to a jump, now that is a more important one. If you're coming up to a jump, it's not always a case of using nitro, because there could be a quick turn after the jump, but that comes down to knowing your track. If you know your track, that ain't going to happen. So if you've got a jump where you know you've got a good second or two before the next turn, use your nitro on it, get as much air as possible. If you've got a corner coming up directly after the jump, do not use your nitro on that jump. I know that sounds, well, damn Mr. B, but you'd be surprised how many times people do that. That is the 6th tip, which leads on to the 7th tip, which I'm going to get into in a second, but this all sort of marries together. You'll get my train of thought in a minute. Okay, now this is the 7th tip, and as usual, you'd expect this to be back at the start of the actual tip video, but, well, I'm a tit. I'm probably going to put myself as tit of the week before the end of this video, because I keep messing up the order. But my 7th tip is understand what your boat can do. Now, the jet boats are different to the race boats in the way that there's no outboard and it's a flat bottom. So now that you know you can go over land, you know you can take shortcuts, but in the same breath, on those tight turns, be careful, because if you hit land too much, you're just going to go flying off. Try and stick to the water during the turns, but if you do see like a wide open space where there's a bit of land in front of you, you know you can go as the crow flies in a straight line, hit the boost, hit the land and get over it as quick as possible, but plan your route, know where you're going to go. You can only slide maybe 6 or 7 feet before you're screwed. So if you know your course has a good 6 or 7, or the course you're going to take has water getting 6 or 7 feet, take it, go for it. You will only shave off time. My 8th tip is pretty much a tip for the whole crew games. Everything has a problem with this, and that's the jumping physics itself. Whenever you leave a jump, it is 50-50 whether you're going to go where you want to go, or if it's going to shoot off somewhere to the left or to the right. That has happened to me God knows how many times. So be prepared that if you are going to hit a jump, if you're going to hit a piece of land and fly off it, you're not always going to go straight, and you're not always going to go where you want. So be prepared for that to happen, because it will, because whoever designed the stupid jumping physics in this game is obviously pissed at the time. Okay, so my penultimate tip, my 9th tip, is a bit of an obvious one, in all fairness. If you crash and everything's gone wrong, and you've already know the track, you've just simply cocked up, you've made yourself look like an idiot, you sat there thinking, for God's sake, Mr. B, why are you so shit at gaming? Why can't I get... Sorry. If you've cocked up, just restart. It's as simple as that. It really is. There is no point trying to save. You're going for a good time here. You're not going... And I don't mean good time like a threesome with Jessica Alba and a clone of Jessica Alba. It's not like you're going for a threesome with 2 Jessica Albas. You're going for a good course time. So at the end of the day, just restart. Simple as that. And now my last tip, and I'm going to end this tips in the same way I do every video, or every tips video that I've done, the whole 2 of them. Practice. Practice. You get nowhere without practicing. By now you should have practiced the course. You should have practiced your tuning or testing your tuning. Practice and practice and practice again, and eventually when you've done enough practicing, you will get better than me. It should take you all of 30 seconds to practice this. It shouldn't be hard. And that, my gorgeous audience, is my top 10 tips on jet racers. As a side note, by the way, this is an Australian sport, or it seems to be Australian stroke American sport, and you can see instantly why it's so bloody crazy. But it is good fun. I know it can be frustrating, but it is good fun. So use these 10 tips, you will go far. I will be streaming the Crew 2 on Twitch every Thursday night, 8 till whenever. It's usually about 10:30, but sometimes it can go further, depends how much I drink. Quick note, Don't drink and drive unless you're playing the crew 2. That's perfectly acceptable. And over 18, of course. Yeah, no, over 18. The link for my Twitch account can be found in the description below, but it's basically Gaming Gorilla TW, Tango Whiskey or Twatty Winkle, TW for Twitch. So it's twitch.com/Gaming Gorilla TW. We have loads of fun, and I'd love you to come and join me and get involved. Come and have a chat with me, or if you're playing the crew 2 while I'm on Twitch, come and join in. I'll race you. I'll beat your ass. Well, I'll try to anyway. If you want to look fantastic on Twitch, come and have a do with me. It's fantastic. So that's everything from me, and I just want to say a massive thank you. I haven't done this in a little while. My channel's been growing tremendously, and I just want to say a big thank you to everybody involved. I can't believe that my last video, my last Crew 2 Top 10 Tips video nearly got 1,000 views. That blows my mind, because the highest views I've had so far is about 150 apart from that one. That is just amazing, and I can't believe it, and I can't thank you guys enough. So that's all from me, Mr. B. Lenny, have you got anything to say?
Yeah. Knock, knock.
Oh God, who's there?
Cargo.
Cargo who?
Cargo beep, beep.
Oh, you dick. Oh my days. That's all from me, Mr. B, and Lenny too. Ta-ta for now.
Ta-ta for now.